Good evening, good morning, but when you're clicking on this video, I'm sure it's the daytime. Pelicans Daily presented by Fan Arts. I'm your host, Dylan Bruton. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. When you're chilling with Dill, you already know the drill. Support is free. Appreciate y'all continuously for all the love, for all the support. It goes a long way, truly and forever. So let's get right to it. So before we talk about the Summer League game, which I know some of y'all probably going to be like, so what happened out there? What went on? Before we get into that, we got some great news. So, my guy Chris Lambert was very excited, as was I, Pelican Debrief, to report that Herb Jones is not going anywhere except the Big NO. He's staying with us, staying in the Big Easy. We got him re-signed for a 3-year, $68 million contract. He's got 5 years. He's got 5 years and $97 million remaining on his current contract with the Pelicans, and that's including the player option, which doesn't kick in until 2029, 2030. And this is a move that, hey, hats off to President Dumas for making that happen. While we had the game going on, business never stops. The motion never stops going. And when you get a guy like Herb Jones, you get him locked into a deal at 26 like that, you can't complain. Everybody was over here throwing out little bids and, oh, well, what if we get this player with him? Or what if we give this pick? Nah, hands off. Look, don't touch. This is our guy. He developed into the player that is, created this market value for him with us. So why would we let him walk away? Why would we let him just go by the wayside? Where's the logic in that? Where's the foresight? Where's the common sense? There's none. When Herb was healthy in 2023-24, we had the sixth best defensive rating in the entire league. Why would we ever try to get rid of someone like that? Why? It wouldn't make no sense. And he's beloved. I'd go as far to say him and Jose are probably the most beloved players on the team. So we'll see what happens with Jose. But we should have known, man. Herb wasn't going to go nowhere. I'm glad, though. Y'all heard me all summer, or forever, these last few months. Let's put it like that. Not all summer. That's stretching it. But you've heard me since the start of the summer to now saying, hey, a player like Herb Jones, you keep. Tayshaun Prince potential. Lamar Odom potential. James Posey. As a super glue guy that could be on a championship team. And I do believe that Herb is a championship caliber player. So I'm happy for this move. Hats off to President Dumas and the rest of the front office for getting this done. Boom. Now on to the next. Now, on the reason why y'all really here. So, Summer League Game 1. The Summer League is officially upon us. It commenced yesterday and still going on today. And we got to see our guys. Got to see what they did. And I'm not gonna lie. Right? It was a perfect mix of good, bad, and ugly. It was everything I expected. Yes, it would have been nice to come out with a victory, but look, 98 to a 91 loss. It's not great, but 7 points, and we struggled from the free throw line. Man, if we had made even 70% of our free throws, we would have won that game. We would have. As sloppy as we played, we would have won. We had a lead in the first half. We had a lead in the first quarter, and went into. I'm pretty sure we had a lead in the first half as well, and that was without Derek Queen playing well, right? Because Jeremiah Fears played well to start the game. Derek Queen had his struggles, and then Micah Peavey. You know what I'm saying? Our young guys, and then our other guys like Lester. You know what I'm saying? He was out here strapping. He was out there just hitting buckets left and right. Antonio Reeves, he was doing his thing on the cool. Eve was a beast. There was a play where he took Johan Behringer off the dribble. I said, off the dribble? Yeah, okay. SGA's trainer, you're doing the Lord's work. Watch out, breakout candidate. But we gotta talk about our rookies because there was a lot of hype and hoopla around our rookies, for better or for worse. And let's start with my guy, Jeremiah Fears. Number 0, no fears. A guy I was very high on, a guy that from the jump I was saying pick 7, Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the Bible. God's plan. Now, Jeremiah Fears put up a decent stat line. 14 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. 7 turnovers, though. And he did shoot 4 of 12 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3. But he made 5 or 6 free throws. My impression of Jeremiah Fears was he's a young guard. Very clearly. But, does he play with charisma and spunk? And is he unafraid of the moment? That was the biggest takeaway I had from watching him. There definitely were shots where I'm like, okay, I wouldn't have taken that. But the confidence, that supreme confidence, that's one of his biggest assets in his game. And but he made some great plays. I would say the best play of the entire summer league. You know, I'm gonna be biased, but without bias was that alley-oop that he had the Eve in the second quarter when they were going to 40-42. That was an ESPN top 10 level play. But I mean, he made the first actual bucket in the game with that pull-up 3. I mean, it was just a nasty boom. You know, just showing him how he cooks, showing him how he goes out there with zero fear and kills it. But then that 1 foot little jumper, side jumper that he has, and he did that in he did that in the first half in the second quarter on the left side, and then at the very end he did it on the right side, banked it in. And yeah, I was very impressed with what I saw confidence-wise. Now, obviously, 4 of 12 is not going to cut it in the regular season. But for a young guard, for a guy who, you know what I'm saying, he's going out there, he's expected to be a shot creator and playmaker and generator of all things, I wasn't mad. Now, here's what I'm going to say. He does need to look to pass a little bit more, trust his teammates, but, you know, it's summer league. Everyone is trying to show and prove. But the jumper form looks good. He gets to the basket with ease. He's just got to finish better, and that's going to come. I mean, he's 18, 19, so I mean, there's so much room for his game to grow. I would have given his performance a C. I'm going to give it a C. I'm not going to give it, I don't know. It's in that range, though. I give him somewhere between a C to a C+. There was a lot of encouraging signs, but there was also as much work to be done. And I think when it's all said and done, we'll be able to laugh at this game and be like, oh, you know, rookie jitters, got to figure yourself out. I did see Chris Lambert over here have a heart attack, both about Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. I'm like, dude, game 1 of the Summer League. 1! It ain't even been the preseason. We haven't even, you know, let something about time breathe. Jeesh. But it is what it is. But yeah, I would give him somewhere between a C to a C+. Now, my guy, Derek Queen, Baltimore Zone. Let's talk about him. No points in the first half. 7 turnovers. Oh man, and I kept when he kept. The thing that was killing me with Derek was he kept going for the fake. And it wouldn't even be like a fake per se. Guy would have the ball and just kind of, and here's Derek. And I get it. He wants to, you know, establish himself as a defensive player a lot more because that was what they nitpicked on him on coming out of the draft at Maryland. But it's like, bro, just stay on your feet, stay disciplined, and you're there. You can alter the shot because we only had 1 block all game. That's not going to cut it. They had 12. 7 from Johan Behringer alone. It's not going to cut it. But we kept a guy like Rob Dillingham to shooting 28% from the field. So, I mean, there were a lot of things that defensively I did see well, especially in defending the paint. But with Derek Queen, stat line-wise, he did well. 13 points, 10 boards, 3 assists. I mean, if he does that in the regular season, that's a Rookie of the Year candidate. But 7 turnovers as well. And the thing with both him and Jeremiah Fears is when I was watching them, a lot of their turnovers weren't like bad passes per se. It was just kind of like bad looks or just bad timing, um, or not bad looks, but just in the sense of it was a risk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to make that decision, or is this pushing it? Is this stretching it? But there was some really great moments for Derek Queen as well. I really loved he had a behind the back assist to Hunter Dickinson in the second quarter. That was nice. That showed off his skill set. He made his first point against Rocco Zakarski. Taking him baseline. He hit a step back. Floater. In the it was an interesting play, but it looked very Jokic-esque. He had the ball, and he kind of had a little methodical dribble, but he was able to pull up and hit a jumper floater, and I really liked that. Like I said, Joker-esque. And then he also made a step back three at the very end of the game. So it wasn't all negative. However, he's got to work on his conditioning, and he's got to get stronger. Now, those are two big things that are going to help his game leaps and bounds, because the skill is there. The polish, the physicalness, it's all there. He just got to get stronger, and he's got to be more disciplined on the defensive end. And I think overall, Derek Queen is never going to be a team's cornerstone as a defender. Keyword, right? But you put him in the right offense, you put him in the right system, put him in the right offense, he's going to do wonderful for you as a big man who can pass out the post, who can handle the ball, who can space the floor. He's going to do wonders for you. And then on the defensive end, he plays tough. It wasn't like I wasn't mad at his effort. I was reading something that Chris wrote, and he was saying he didn't have good effort. I'm like, no. It's not bad effort. It's just he's just jumpy on his feet. He wants to get those blocks. He wants to get those plays, and that's encouraging that he is as hungry and vigilant. And he was self-aware enough to say, look, I did not play well that first half, and I feel like I picked up on some things in the second half better. But overall, this is me and Jeremiah's first game, and we're only going to get better from here. And that's exactly how you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? You dust yourself off and try again. I mean, they were within 5 points at the very end. They went on a little run. You know what I'm saying? It was not all negative. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you lose 98-91, it's only 7 points. So it can't be that bad. And two, there was flashes of greatness. You saw exactly why we made the draft picks that we made. So I was impressed with both of them, but neither of them are getting better than a C grade. But I'm a tough grader. I know some people are gonna be like, oh, what's a D and an F? I'm like, nah, they kept us in the game. They were both active, they were hungry. All those things that you want to see from a young player, you could see it in the game. It wasn't like bad energy. It wasn't like they were being lethargic or whatever. No, they were out there hungry. They were out there ready to compete. So I was impressed on that. I was very impressed. But the most impressive rookie that I was impressed with was our guy, Big Easy Peavey, or Easy Peavey, depending on whatever the Pelicans social media team calls him. But hey, whatever y'all call him, you better cut me a check, because I said it first. I ain't playing either. I got the receipts. All love though. But I was very impressed with Micah Peavey. 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 7 boards, 2 steals. He made a 3. He was getting open. He hit a couple catch and shoot shots. He hit a open deep 2 off a Derek Queen assist. He also hit an open dunk that was really nice from Trey Alexander. He made his 3 in the third. I was very impressed with what I saw from Micah Peavey. Micah Peavey stepped in, was ready. It was very, it was kind of like Trevor Ariza-esque, right? Just of being that 3-and-D role guy that knows his role, is athletic and is gonna make plays happen, in the interior, in the paint, and his defensive game was really well. I mean, yes, Terrence Shannon, you did go off. He was kind of bullying us, not gonna lie. But I felt like Micah, when guarded on him, was making him earn each and every point. It wasn't like Lester was just like, oh, I'm going to just run through y'all and y'all ain't going to stop me. No, Lester had to, uh, Terrence had to earn those points. And that's to me what I look for more in a great defender. Sometimes not only just who are you stopping, but when watching, is the offensive player against you, do they feel confident? Do they feel like they can go out and do this and get whatever points they want on you? Or are they looking at it like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. Like people talk about like that video of LeBron when he sees Kawhi checking in the 2014 finals. And I hear a lot of LeBron fans say, well, LeBron still averaged XYZ points per game and rebounds and assists. Can we really say he shut down Kawhi? I mean, Kawhi shut him down. And I would never say Kawhi shut him down, but he made LeBron earn every single point, every single statistic. And that, to me, matters more as a quote-unquote defender. I'm not saying it's even better when you don't allow them to score. Yes. But if you can create difficulties for them to score, you make them earn every single point, you live with the result. And that's what I saw with Micah Peavey. He was making any player that he was matched up with live with the result. That's all you could want. That's all you could want. But that's also what we drafted him for. We needed more defense on the wings. And he looks like he's NBA ready. But also it helps, right? Jeremiah and Derek Queen are both like 19. Micah Peavey's like 24. So there's a different type of learning curve because, that's just more maturation. That's more life lived. And also in Micah's case, he's played at multiple colleges. So there's a difference in like, okay, like I'm in a new spot again. This is routine for me. In fact, this is all I know. Versus with Jeremiah and Derek Queen, they both were one and done freshmen. So perspective. Now, did Micah blow anybody away? No. But I was very impressed, and I'm not, think whatever you want. But I think there is a lot of good to be taken away from his performance, the energy, the hustle, the usage of his athleticism, his shooting ability. I was impressed with what I saw. So for me, I would give Micah a B. Again, nobody played like great, lights out, whatever. No. But you can see the promise, you can see the potential, and you see the desire to get better with all three of them. So I'm very happy with our draft class. This is one of our best draft classes that we've had in years, and I think when it's all said and done, it's low key gonna be the greatest one. I know people are gonna like, but we just lost. Yo, we lost by 7. And look, I'm gonna just say this: Johan Behringer was swatting everything in sight. That man is a dog. However, we had the Timberwolves number offensively most of the game. If we're being real, they did not really they didn't really dominate us. They only shot 3% better. So I feel good about our chances moving forth. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel good. I feel good against the Lakers. I feel good against Portland. I feel good against OKC. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Top pitch look nice though. He's special. But for most of these teams, I am not worried. I'm not worried because I know the type of organization that we are and the type of culture that we're building, even as it goes down to the summer league, right? There's already been a shift. There's already been a difference. Guys are diving for loose balls. Guys are playing hard physical basketball. Guys are trying to get highlight moments for their teammates. You just see the synchrony. You see that cohesion. And the more we build onto that, the better. Simple. It's really not that difficult. It's not that difficult. So I'll give Micah a B, Jeremiah a C, pushing C+, and for Derek Queen, a C. Just a C. So there's more in store, more to come, but I'm excited to see what those guys do. Because, hey, Summer League is big. Summer League is where you get your first reps, is where you first dip your feet into the pool. So you need those moments. They mean a lot. They will either help or hurt you. So might as well find a way to let it help you. So, and you know what always helps me? Reading to y'all, responding to y'all, talking ball. First off, I just want to say, Peaceful 344. I like this take because I understand it a lot. I do. He said, I don't think Troy Weaver, who is the Pels' new GM, brought Jordan Poole with him from Washington to have him come off the bench. Weaver saw Poole dropping 30 and 40 points on playoff teams like the Cavs, Pacers, Boston, and he single-handedly beat Denver 2 times. Not to mention him scoring 38 points in 36 minutes against Golden State. Poole averaged 20.5, 4.5 assists, 1.3 steals per game, 235 threes, or 38% from 3, 88% from the free throw line, while playing, on 38% from 3, I'm tripping, and 88% from the free throw line, while playing under a minutes restriction and being amongst the top 10 players most often blitzed in the league. Some nights Poole didn't play whole fourth quarters because the Wizards were tanking and didn't want him to win games, so he rarely played 30 minutes. Weaver saw this, and this is why he brought Poole to the Pels. If you could score like this playing 25 minutes a game, what can you do when you turn him loose? Well, when he filled in for Steph when he was injured for an extended period of time his last 2 seasons at Golden State, he averaged 26 points per game and 6 assists, and this is what helped the Warriors make the playoffs 2 years in a row and win that 2022 championship. You can't have a Warriors death lineup and not play former Warriors players. Trust, Weaver has plans for Poole. Well, Peaceful, you disrupted the whole ethosphere, but you are not lying. I will say, Jeremiah Fears being a young point guard, 2-guard, split scoring guard, it's going to make most likely the coaches lean towards Jordan Poole's way. Even though Jordan Poole is an older version of that, but that's just where the age and the experience, the championship pedigree, and definitely the DC connection. No shame. So I like that. I like that pick. David Weimer. David Weimer, 8244. There is not enough spacing in your point Zion lineup. Trey is the only consistent three-point shooter. Missy and Zion are non-three-point shooters, and Queen is a bad one. Herb is solid, but is not a volume three-point shooter. The defense will just guard Trey in the perimeter and sit in the paint for everyone else. Defensively, Zion is best as a weak side help defender, not chasing guys around screens. Queen can't chase guys around screens. I don't see that lineup being good on D and getting out and running on teams. And when you make some very compelling points, I do agree that there needs to be more spacing. However, I do feel like, there's going to be that added element with Queen's game in the NBA level. He's going to have to develop it because he's not a stud athlete. So he's going to refine that part of his game. With Herb and Zion, Herb and Trey, they're just going to keep getting better. They've got the two-way ability. And Zion could shock everybody and come out and shoot really well. But I hear what you're saying, man. Ricky said Queen might just be better than next year's lottery pick. I hope so. Ricky Pronia 2494. Yo, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. That is the hope and prayer. But either way, I was impressed with what I saw with Queen. There definitely is room to grow, and I'm glad that he took accountability right away. And I'm excited to see what he does. And Brian Hip, thank you for the love. Thank you for putting the name out and the channel out. That's the only way it grows. Support is free. So much love to you. Appreciate you. And hey, I'm glad to celebrate this with y'all. I really am. I'll respond to 2 more comments. Oh. 504 Fresh Lit, grind hard. Yes, sir. You already know the deal. Ricky P. I have a good feeling about this team. I do too. It's still very encouraging what I saw. Give them a full year. Give them everybody fully figured out on who's where and what's role. Like I said, we can at least, I don't care what nobody says, but if we're just going off paper and we're going off of what we're capable of, at least could be a 6 to 7 seed. At least could be more. So execution matters though. All-time great. Congrats on your milestone. One of the former Pelicans podcast out here keeping it 100. Hey, that's all I do, man. That's all I try to do all time. I just try to bring a genuine environment, genuine experience, let people feel and experience the rest. So that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. But hey, it's been a blast. I'm glad that y'all been with me on this journey. I'm glad that y'all been supporting me, sending my channel out to other people. You don't understand how much that means to me, but that just goes to show you when you make an impact, you got to appreciate it because you never know who is speaking of you positively in another room, in another space. So thank y'all so much. There's more to cover with this summer league. We don't play until tomorrow, so we get the day to rest, the day to recuperate, rejuvenate. And if anybody's in Vegas, yo, let us know up close and personal how it is watching our team, watching our squad, you know, and who's a surprise player that we could see, you know, making it to the main roster. I mean, Lester Quinones, he was over there bucketing, balling, hitting threes, hitting in between screenshots. He's been on the team for 3 years. I have not talked about him, but next video, I got y'all. But hey, that all being said, I appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Cost free. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. You know the drill when you're hanging and chilling with Dill. Hey, but that's gonna wrap this episode up. Pelicans Daily presented by Fan Arch. Your host Dylan Bruton. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe, and make sure to spread some love today. Promise you, it don't cost nothing.